Good morning, people kind. Welcome back to Fresh, Slick, and motherfucking Pope Mick.
Pope aliens today.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get right to the fucking meat of it. Aliens.
Ancient aliens.
Y'all gotta check out the Instagram to see how this man looks right now. Because you know the aliens do from History Channel? He looks more like him than that guy actually does.
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually feel like we're sitting with whatever the fuck his name is.
what's his
I don't
name?
even know. He's probably not a real scientist.
I don't think he is.
I don't think so.
I looked up all the credentials one time of all the people that usually speak, and I think I got like one legit person.
I remember, you ever see the... I want to say it might have been Discovery. Some channel that should have known better. They did a special on like mermaids.
Yeah.
And like played it off as real.
Channel,
was it History Channel?
History.
Yeah, History Channel's really gone bankrupt.
Yep.
Historically, anyway. But they had... I was watching the documentary and I was like they play it off as legit, right? So I'm checking it out. Oh, damn. Oh, okay, that doesn't actually make any sense. But what about this? But what about this? You know, are these guys real? So I'll look them up. And then you can go on IMDb, and it's got all their acting credentials for all the different... I'm like, son of a... Yes, this man is not a marine biologist any more than he is a geophysicist. I got fooled. I got fooled twice.
Yeah. Man, I don't like that. As much as I'm a huge fan of the show Vikings, it's the same thing. It's like those characters existed and their stories, the lore is pretty accurate, but like how it's all put together, like they didn't all know each other. They lived in different time periods, right? Like all that shit, but in the show they're all like buddies.
Oh yeah,
like, let's sail together, but they never even fucking cross paths.
But
like,
that's the difference between telling a story and saying, you know, this is based on true events, and then just playing something off like it's a straight documentary.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever see that fucking... What is it called? It's like a found footage movie. I can't remember. It's set in Alaska, and it's a psychologist, and it's actually an aliens-based plot.
The Fourth Kind?
Fourth Kind.
Dude,
That's
I didn't
the fucking
sleep for
one.
a fucking week after that.
Tripped me the fuck out. I was disturbed leaving the theater.
No shit, eh?
And then I went home and looked it up. I'm like, son, you fucking got me again.
Yeah, that wasn't real shit. Everyone thought the footage was real.
They did it well.
They did it extremely well because I thought it was real, but it was based off true events.
It was probably based off somebody had a fucking bad dream once.
Yeah. I looked up the aliens guy. His name is... I don't know how to pronounce it. It's he's a Swiss television personality and producer. It's Giorgio, I think. Oh, Giorgio.
I don't know.
A. Tiscalos. Anyways, I love this. He got his education from...
the Greekest name I've ever seen.
He got his education from Ithaca College. It doesn't tell me... Oh, bachelor's degree in sport, information, and communications. So this is a guy giving us all of our alien facts. But I love this. Occupation. Publisher. Television personality. Ancient astronaut theorist. Meme.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's an occupation.
That's it. I love that.
I wonder if he gets paid from that.
No, you can't. I could go use his likeness 40 times and he wouldn't get a dime.
Just do it.
I will. I'd rather use Mickey's.
Yeah, he looks way better.
That's even better.
Well, I might get
that
in
guy's... dude, that guy's smoked.
Yeah.
Like, he's smoked.
Or he's just weird. He's just like one of those eccentrics who just is like that.
Like, is everything he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, okay.
He does dress like an eccentric. Like I got him in a purple scarf and a red hoodie.
He's a bodybuilding promoter and a fucking whack job.
Is he actually?
Yeah, that's what it said there.
Wow.
Like, does he work out?
No.
I feel like that's just going to be me when I'm 45.
No, promoter, not
He doesn't do it?
bodybuilder.
Okay. No. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's kind of into it. Oh, no, he definitely doesn't work out.
I just want to picture him in, was it Scully or... No. What's the guy's name from
Kind of looks like
X-Files?
I don't even know. Oh,
Mulder.
David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Okay, or David Duchovny, whatever.
Yeah. There you go. All right, anyway. So what about real aliens?
What about him?
What about him? Yeah, man.
Do they exist?
Which one? There's possibly 13
13 different ones.
that live on Earth now.
What?
Yep.
Well, we stumped him. Off to a good start.
It's going to be one of these ones.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't 13. That was
No, it's too
That
much.
was 13 people, famous people who believe in aliens. We'll get to that later. But
What do I give a fuck what famous people believe?
If
some
we
of them-
start that, one of them was
Who's the bitch who did the anti-vax thing? I don't
All
give a
right,
fuck what
well,
she thinks either.
What would you say to Winston Churchill believing in aliens?
That doesn't matter.
Okay, well, that's one
Can I
person.
ask everyone a question?
Yes, you just did.
Oh, well, this list
Well,
already went downhill.
2 questions. Fresh, do you believe in aliens?
That's a very broad question.
Do you believe in extraterrestrial beings from outer space? Intelligent. Extraterrestrial
Intelligent.
beings from outer space.
Yes.
Okay, so you believe we're not alone. Do you believe that intelligent extraterrestrial beings from outer space, even though that's redundant, have visited Earth?
No.
Okay, Mickey, same questions to you. Because I don't want to ask them another,
No, it's
4
like-
more fucking times.
For me, it's hard because, like,
No, just answer the
just
question.
answer the question. I don't want to rant
it's,
right
it's
now.
not a yes or no. It's like I want to
No,
believe that it did
it's a
happen.
yes or no.
If you want to believe, then that's a yes.
Then I do believe that they exist, and you know what? Yeah, I do believe that they've come at some point.
Okay.
Okay.
There. See how easy that was?
Yeah,
No, it was
super
actually
easy.
really hard. I had a lot to say.
Didn't require a speech at all.
Don't worry, we got time for you to say it.
Oh yeah. We'll see. I have a feeling this is going to be
Okay,
a
so-
heavy Mickey takes it off the rails episode.
Oh, for sure.
The good news is there are barely any rails.
There are bands.
That's true.
So me personally, I guess I'll answer. Yes, I believe.
Yeah, no fucking
And
shit.
yes, I think they've been to Earth.
Okay, so why do you think they've been to Earth?
Man, honestly, probably just want to think that so badly that that's how I think it. I don't see any evidence that they have or they haven't. So I just go with they have.
So last
That's
week's
it.
discussion on logic did nothing for you.
No, it did. It just that's my okay.
I
don't
like
know.
that little tidbit though, where you say like there is no evidence that they have or haven't. It's like okay, so like you do kind of it is left to your own devices there to a degree.
I just-
to a degree. Don't slap your face. It's really though like that.
Dude, listen. I think it's just all the shit that I've read throughout my whole life because I've been obsessed with aliens since I was young. Okay, that I honestly just think they are. Like I grew up. I believed that as a kid, so I just grew up. Yeah, like they've been here, and that's just how it's always been for me.
Yeah, but I believed it as a kid. I thought it was a given as a kid, but then I grew up.
But what does that mean? Are you suggesting I didn't grow up?
One, yes.
Okay, because I believe something you don't.
No, because you just said you believe something with zero evidence.
No, there's lots of evidence. I mean, there's as much evidence that they've been here as there is as much evidence as they haven't.
You can't provide for a negative. That doesn't make sense.
Yes, you can.
See, for me, where I think that they were is, again, we're getting to ancient aliens already, but just their depictions of otherworldly beings.
He's already doing it. He's already
Already
doing it.
But you know what I mean? It's just like these supposedly these continents that have never had any meetings of the people,
Oh, the hieroglyphs, yeah.
and
like,
yet all of them have these otherworldly experiences. Like, and again, not just like their
he's
gods. and
saying otherworldly as well. This is amazing. I wish we live streamed this shit.
in the sense of they all seem to be telling the same story of more than just gods coming. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
all have their gods. You go, okay, yeah. But it's just like, oh no, they came on these flying crafts of story. You're just kind of like, that's just, it's fucked up that these cultures I've never met all say something of the same.
Okay, so you go right to possibly the least likely explanation.
Well, it's interesting.
Whereas I
right?
say maybe, okay, well maybe we're just wrong. Maybe these cultures did meet at some point in some way.
Well, and that's the one part that actually makes it less and less likely for me because they're finding new things all the time where it's
Yeah,
like,
man.
looks like they, like, fuck, I remember I read an article, this was a couple years ago, where it looks like the Romans made it to fucking South America. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, but okay, but that's fine. They could have came into contact, but like, how do you explain some of the drawings? Straight
No,
up,
and I agree. Like, some
like
of them,
these. Like, how do you explain that?
the big
Like,
thing
look at
is,
this
the
shit.
big thing is, though, is there's the one food for thought where, like, if you want to see it, you're going to see it, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just say we lived in a world today where there was no science fiction.
Yeah,
How would we look at these things if science fiction was never a
No,
thing? When
I
we
know.
started,
I understand that.
But
I don't know. That could be like a
In-
whale with a reverse fin on it or something.
in the same
Look at its mouth.
with the same means, though, we talked about the Nazis and their technology and stuff like that. It's like, okay, are they what is it? Not reconstructing, but is it reverse engineering? What? Like, where are they getting these interesting possible anti-gravity technologies, which some the Nazi scientists that came over were like, oh yeah, no, we were working on shit like that. It's like, well, what the fuck,
Yeah, but working on shit like that doesn't mean anything.
But my mind always goes to the brain can't think of something that it hasn't seen before. An example, like think of a color you never seen. I know it's very fucking loose. I'm trying here, just as much as the History Channel tries. But I know, but at the same time, I guess you can say, oh yeah, let's try anti-gravity. Why? Because fuck it, I hate gravity. I want to be anti it and fly. So that would probably be one of the big pushes for
yeah, but you can start at birds.
Oh no, absolutely. Well,
Okay.
and that's a lot of this too. It's like, maybe they saw a big ass bird and was like, oh fuck, that bird looked weird. Maybe it wasn't a bird. It was a fucking spaceship. I don't fucking know.
Fresh.
Yeah, like what about when people think they see Nessie and it's actually just a normal dinosaur?
You're right.
Like,
Yeah, like a fucking triceratops
Yeah,
trying to
it's
swim,
fucking
bro.
stupid.
Like stupid fucking people. Fresh, can I ask, why don't you believe they've been here?
That's a good question.
because I have not seen the evidence to sufficiently convince me.
Fair enough.
Have you? Okay, well then a little bit off track.
And yes, I have looked.
A little bit off track. Have you ever believed in something that you haven't had sufficient evidence for? Like, not as a kid, like Santa Claus. I just like, humor me here.
Not to the point that I would ever argue it. The best that I can do in situations like that is fall back on an expert position and say, lacking enough knowledge myself, I will defer to, Billy Bob's position because he seems to have it together. And that's
Billy Bob.
that's as well as I can do there. But I would never presume to defend something I didn't know anything about.
So maybe using a little bit of the scientific method, we have slots.
Before you even fucking go there and you want to talk about the scientific method, saying there's no evidence that they haven't, do you realize how completely anti-scientific that is?
I know, but what I'm going to say is we have spots on the periodic table of elements we have not discovered. Yet there is a space because they believe that it has to exist.
But that's not based on nothing.
I know, but we are here. Why is that there absolutely no chance that there's other things out there?
I never said that.
You never said
No,
that.
no, okay, no, fair, but I'm trying to not prove the
That
point.
better be fucking fair.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, essentially, if we have means to kind of go, there's a method towards this, and we can, to a degree, why not elsewhere? Why can't it just be like, yeah, because we're here, there's a pretty good chance there's life elsewhere. Whether or not they've been here or not, I'm not even arguing that point at the moment. Just it could be out there.
Okay, well then you've basically given this long tirade for nothing because I agree that there's probably life elsewhere.
I'm just more so finding clarification, just to find a point
Okay.
where because we're kind of on the same page. Like
Yeah.
we hope
So-
and we want to. I want to see where he is.
But of
on
Slick's
it.
two premises, we all agree on point A. We
Point A.
just don't agree on point B.
Let's regroup. So we all agree that we believe intelligent extraterrestrial life exists.
Yes.
And point B, only Mickey and I believe or think, I don't even know the
I say
correct fucking
think.
word, that they've been to Earth, and Fresh is a no-go on that one. Correct, right? I just want to get
I have not seen any evidence that would convince me that alien life has visited Earth.
Right.
Intelligent alien life has visited Earth.
This far in your life, you're a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I'm just regrouping.
getting a basis.
Dude,
I'm not-
way
I'm-
off the fucking.
yeah,
the
yeah,
train's in the
I told you I was
goddamn
going
fucking
to.
river,
You
bro.
guys were ready for this.
I'm not opposed to being convinced. That's the thing. You disagree with somebody, you take a firm stance on anything, try and sound a little bit intelligent. People are like, "Oh, this guy thinks he fucking knows everything." Hell no.
No.
Teach me some new things. Show me the spaceship.
Yeah.
I want to see that fucking shit.
I want to see the mothership. I want this man to be butt probed.
One never
I want
will.
that.
Oh
for
my
you.
God.
I want that for you, Fresh.
I have been practicing all my life.
It's a skill, man. It's a
And
skill.
the aliens are gonna be like, "Look, it was so easy with this guy."
We dropped it
just
in.
slipped in. Why haven't we visited him before?
And I'm gonna lean back like, "I know."
Whoa, that guy's awake. Fucking Fresh.
Not a fresh butt.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know. Aliens kind of sound crazy.
But do they sound crazy?
No, they don't. To me, they don't. But I understand why they would. Just like how religion sounds crazy to me, but doesn't to other people.
actually, it's funny because this one article I was reading. So, the article is based on this study that came out recently that said the amount of habitable worlds is actually much, 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 much smaller than we originally thought, which is weird because there's also a lot of stuff in the current scientific literature of people saying, and these are mostly opinions, but educated opinions, that we think we're really close to discovering extraterrestrial life, whether it be microbacteria on Mars or something more significant, right? But this article said that the habitable zone is way smaller than we originally thought. So the habitable zone was originally loosely defined as basically just a distance from a yellow sun that a planet is.
Yeah.
Based on us,
Yeah.
right? Here's a band that the planet needs to be within that range. Then they started getting more specific, like the age of the sun, you know, how long has life had to develop? Because
Right.
in terms of Earth, it appeared relatively quickly, you know, a few
Oh, yeah,
billion.
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's for Earth, that's,
It's
Yeah,
fast.
you know,
and-
that's fast in a biological sense. Or in a geological sense, I suppose.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Man, they built Earth.
Right. But now, like this article, I read the scientific study. I'm not going to pretend to have understood it all because they got into like specific calculations for gas mixing in the oxygen or in the atmosphere and everything. And it just began to go over my non-chemistry minded
So
head.
is this? Sorry, can I just interject real
Yeah,
quick?
please.
Is this just like life, carbon-based life, like us? A habitable zone,
That's
carbon-based
the
life.
hitch. Life as we understand it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because all life as we understand it, all of it, 100%, requires water.
Yes.
So there is no life without water. So we
Yeah.
already know we need that. So if a planet gets too close to a star, all the water burns off. If it gets too far, all the water freezes. Now we've got interesting data coming from further out in our rim, like what is it, Europa, the moon of Jupiter?
That was Titan.
Europa and Titan.
Yes.
I think it's both. But
Yes.
Titan more so, but anyways.
Yes, you are right. It's like where they talk about there's definitely ice there,
But there's oceans.
and they
underneath.
wonder if there's oceans underneath.
No, I think they came and they found that. They're sending a probe. I heard a drill probe. Did you read that?
I did not read that.
I gotta link you.
I think I read that they're trying to build essentially a submarine that they can launch to Europa. I
Maybe
believe
it is
Europa has
Europa.
methane oceans. That's the issue there.
Oh.
There's no, it's all methane based.
well,
Planet.
in an interesting aspect of the whole water thing is that oxygen is actually produced by organic life. Oxygen doesn't come from anywhere else. So if you find oxygen in an atmosphere, there is some volume of life. Problem is we've never actually gotten atmospheric samples from those places.
Yeah.
So that was one thing I did understand. But anyway, they're saying that, and these are, you know, reputable scientists, came from a journal of astrophysics. I tried to like source everybody's credentials, but holy shit, you think a terms of service agreement is thick? Dude, these guys are next level.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But anyway, so I'm more or less taking them at their word from the fucking Journal of Astrophysics.
Right.
But these guys said that, you know, it just seems that it's very unlikely that we will ever find life, let alone ever contact life. And, you know, there's a giant gap between those two things, but you're limited by the speed of light and the length of biological life. So,
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
and then the strength of a signal that could be sent out. I mean, they sent out that SETI probe however the fuck long ago. That was, what was it, broadcasting? Like something
Bullshit.
in a few different languages, a certain transmission in a few different
Yeah,
languages.
I think you're right. Something like that.
Yeah.
And that's probably at like Pluto by now or something.
Oh fuck, I don't even know.
I honestly don't know how like yeah, space is fucking big.
What about the WOW signal?
Oh, the WOW signal. That's
Well,
been
but
But
just
it's like
proven.
nothing. It's a
No, but I know if what's the guy's name? Carl
Sagan.
Sagan.
How dare you?
I was gonna say Carlsberg. I'm like, that's not right.
Carlsberg.
Carlsberg. The withdrawals kicking in.
Jesus Murphy.
But when a guy like that is kind of like surprised by something like that coming from space, that kind of piques my interest. You know what I mean? Essentially, we received some sort of signal back that shouldn't have been at all.
Yeah, but it could have been.
It could have been
Dude,
anything.
that guy
You're
just
right,
gets
you're
excited when it turns nighttime.
Yeah. I don't know if
what
you
I
know,
mean?
but
Like-
Carl Sagan was high all the time.
He was me.
Yeah. He was
But
Mitch,
smart.
but higher.
And higher.
smarter. Yeah.
right. Smart.
Way smarter. No, the WoW signal's kind of right off.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
kinda
everything's
right.
kind of a write off. I just think. I don't know. It's like a really gray area because like
Speaking
yeah,
of great. I'm just
yeah.
kidding. Just go ahead.
There's just so many things that sound so wild but could be true. And there's no really way to disprove or prove anything about those things, like, you know,
Yeah.
claims people have made and shit like that.
The worst part is most of the claims are by these unfortunate, most like hillbilly folk.
No, not at all. Like there are people with fucking claims, bro. Like sorry, there are people with credentials that have claimed some shit. Not all the, I'm not talking about
No,
like
no.
the abduction claims. I'm
Yeah,
talking about
I'm
like
fine.
the claims of working hand in hand with extraterrestrials
Oh, I
and
see, I
reverse
see.
engineering ships. Now, don't get confused. Extraterrestrial ships versus UFOs, because a UFO is just an unidentified flying
Yep,
object.
yep,
Could
yep.
be anything. Could be man-made. You know, could be a fucking giant, fucking dragon from a volcano.
On
Those are
the
real.
on the moon episode, when I was talking about how Buzz Aldrin and them had to switch to the medical frequency to talk about what they believe they were sawing. My goodness, what they believe they saw. They said there's person that got medical. I'm gonna say it. We got a UFO, but that's because again, it's what they call it. You're right. It's just an unidentified flying object.
It's not supposed to be there. It's
Exactly.
not supposed to be in the airspace or the space.
Yeah, and also all of that you were talking about was debunked.
Okay, no problem. Again,
Okay, no problem.
no, I'm glad. Like now, I don't need to. Bring it
I
up.
really wish we were fucking casting this episode because like everything you're saying and doing makes you look as fucking crazy as
As
you've
the guy.
dressed.
You look just like.
I've really donned the character.
Yeah, you had. Did you watch it like 8 episodes before you came today?
No, but I've seen a lot of them already.
Yeah.
There was a Viking based one, so I had to just. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this one.
Vikings were aliens.
Okay, so there's no proof for you that there's proof of aliens.
There's no proof that
Of
there's.
alien communication?
Yeah, no, of alien. Oh, are we talking about communication now?
Well,
Sorry,
whatever.
I was looking up that submarine space sub.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry, I kind of got lost.
No. I've never seen anything that's convinced me. And to defer to weird ancient cultures that we don't fully understand, like, dude, you can't even perfectly transliterate modern French to English.
Yeah.
No, I know,
To
yeah.
think that we can look back 2,000 years and make a judgment on what they were obviously trying to do, that's a little presumptuous.
true.
It is, but a lot of it's like pictures. I get there's probably some problems. Fuck, I don't know, trippy ass drugs they're on or some shit when they're.
Well,
you
that's
know, right?
constantly coming up more and more. It just seems like all of our ancestors were all just
They're
fucking
just
stoned.
drugs. Yeah, why would you not be at that time? You got to
But-
fucking walk everywhere and build shit. Just get stoned. You're happy to do it.
Well, like, and then it brings up, like, why do they build these monuments to what? Well, again, like you said, like this loose interpretation, like, oh, they built these monuments to the sky, to these gods. Like, yeah, they're all fucking stoned. Of course they.
I don't
did.
know. Like that's okay. Anyway, so that's what we all think right there. And then what were you talking about, Fresh? I got real lost trying to find this fucking thing, and I finally found it.
No, it's okay.
But what were you
There's a
talking about
lot.
when we were talking about Titan and Europa?
Just all of the excuse me, the different criteria that they've narrowed
Well, right.
for the likelihood of life, because
Yes.
now they've kind of got into the gas mixing and atmospheric contents and what it would take for toxicity,
right.
not the system of a Down album, which all it really takes is a little bit of police violence, and you
Yeah.
get there, and some Armenian dudes. But they've basically said that it seems far less likely that life would develop in a lot of these cases. So, and I mean that let's be clear. You're taking it from, okay, so we thought it was billions, now it's just millions.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
There's still a high,
There's still a lot.
Well, that was
high number,
Yeah.
but a low percentage.
Yeah, well, I remember I was listening to this guy talk about it going, again, this guy was 100% for life on other planets. He goes, if the percentage is this, that means that there are this many planets that would support, just based on the math, that would support life. And he's like, that's a, like on the grand scheme of things, on the percentage it's small, but when you look at it, it's a lot of planets.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise, right?
It's like when you talk about the amount of people with a certain disease or something, and people don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
They say, you don't think it's an issue because it's 0.1% of the population, but when you talk about 3 million people, it sounds like an
lot of
issue.
people.
You know?
Quick thing on percentages. I've looked up...
Great.
Just,
No, I'm
just
just
quick
joking.
one.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know how many articles, but almost all of them are saying that half or over half the population of the world or America believe aliens exist.
That doesn't surprise
That
me. That
does,
doesn't
yeah.
surprise
It's
me at all.
interesting,
integrated
though, yeah.
into like
Because that's
Yeah.
a broad question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, very much so, yeah.
Okay, so
Very true.
so we're talking about the is it the habitual zone?
Habitable zone.
Habitable zone, not habitual. That's like
What they
habit.
call it.
Yeah. Okay. So did you ever hear about the silicone-based life forms?
Yes.
Did you read up on that? Yeah.
To what extent?
Loosely. I mean, there's not a lot about it, but
Right. Because it's more theoretical.
yeah, it is more theoretical. Definitely. I was just curious if you.
Whenever I think about silicone-based life forms, I think of the Simpsons episode with the alien that turns out to be Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
But Homer says he saw it, and
Yeah.
Dr. Hibbert goes, was the life form carbon-based or silicone-based?
Yeah.
And Homer goes, the second one, a xylophone.
Telephone. Oh fuck, man! I fucking miss the Simpsons, like the old ass Simpsons. Anyway.
Oh, I love that episode. Be friend with me or something like that.
That's actually a very interesting thing. Okay, so one thing that strikes me about aliens, and this is completely out of left field here, is because I got a kid, right? And
First
I
of all,
watched-
can you please say it right?
what? Oh, sorry.
aliens.
I have a child, and she watches lots of cartoons, right? Just like I did when I was growing up, and she should probably go outside more. No. Anyway, when she watches cartoons, I'm obviously watching with her, chill with her. And, man, there's a lot of aliens in these cartoons.
No
like an
shit.
uncomfortable amount of aliens. Like almost every cartoon, there's like an alien friend, or there's like an alien episode where they come down, and it's almost just like, when I was a kid, I guess there was like, I don't know.
Like, what are we talking about? Like Marvin the Martian or what?
No,
Like the Greys.
like Paw Patrol has aliens in it. Like this other one that she used to watch when she was really young. What's it called? Pokio or something, and it's like a Spanish like 3D anime. It's actually
Okay.
really dope. Cartoon. It's cool as hell.
Yeah.
But they have aliens in it. The rest of the series has nothing to do with aliens.
So, but,
You know?
I don't know if Fresh was trying to ask this, but like, what do they look like? Are they,
Oh,
Paw
sorry.
Patrol. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like cartoony.
yeah,
they're
kinda
Like, is it like
green-
Paw Patrol? It's just like a green dog with antenna.
No. They're
Or-
like humanoid, like aliens.
fuck.
Man, they look like aliens. That's the weird thing to me. So I started thinking, I was like, okay, that was kind of when we were growing up a little bit, but like, not every show had it. Not like if it was like I don't even think like Magic School Bus had aliens.
Nope. They went to space,
Yeah,
and
there's no
they all they
aliens,
did
'cause
was
they did-
collect pieces of the
Right,
planets,
and,
and
like-
that was it.
Right.
Even shit like that didn't have aliens. Now I'm looking at this shit like there's alien shows, tons of alien shows, like just strictly alien shows, and then like Paw Patrol's got aliens.
Is the government trying to normalize it?
And then yeah, like that's what I'm saying. What if they're trying to introduce it finally because the people finally believe, and throughout time it's being like subliminally introduced to you so you don't get shocked.
You know why I don't like that?
No, I don't, but I have a feeling you're gonna tell me.
Because
Not just gonna keep him to himself.
first it was like UFO mania, there was like Roswell, like blah blah, and then through the '60s it kind of resurged and everything, and then it's kind of gained a sort of cultural foothold as almost a truism, right?
Yeah, it's kind of
Like Mickey said, more than half of people believe in alien life.
Yeah.
How much of that consists of believing alien life came to Earth? I don't know, but I bet it's significant.
probably the same number.
Fuck.
Probably.
So, why would the government keep it a secret only to just like pull the curtain back one day and be like, ta-da, they were here the whole time.
I don't know why.
It doesn't. It's goofy.
Why are we just trying to fix the fucking world now, climate-wise? And now the curtain's finally being pulled on these oil companies.
Well, that one we
even
know.
though everyone already knew.
Because of where the dollars were.
Yeah.
Well,
we
that's
already
what I'm
knew
saying.
that.
So what if there's dollars there, military dollars, technology?
Yeah, but they'd get more. Dude, if you came out with a fucking alien and alien technology, Elon Musk would be like, take my money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But the whole economy would change. The world would change. Religion,
Yeah,
would,
for a better thing.
Yeah,
Actually,
but some people wouldn't like that, bro.
I'm glad he brought up religion.
Yeah, you probably
Religious
right.
people wouldn't like. There would be there would be fucking mayhem.
Okay, here's a philosophical question.
Right.
Because I was thinking about this when I was looking at these statistics about habitable zones, right?
Right.
So let's say, in theory, that it turns out there's only one planet life could really exist, and it is Earth.
Okay.
Wouldn't
Okay.
the fucking religious nuts go crazy?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Even though this still proves nothing, but wouldn't they go fucking
Well,
nuts?
they would go, oh, we finally have one against you non-believers. Like, okay,
I don't know.
guess so.
Would that prove nothing? And all the randomness in the universe. Well, I
It
guess
would
there's a
prove
lot
nothing.
of
Because
lot
there's
of
there's
fucking
no
randomness.
accounting for the rest of the universe in the Bible.
Yeah. True.
Well,
True. Very true.
interesting about the religion, because I used to work with a guy. This was, I guess, probably 10 years ago now. God Almighty. And we were
Seven
talking about
almighty.
aliens, and he just speculated a big reason why. So his position was they exist, and the reason why that we don't know they exist, the government keeps it under wraps, is because of religion. A big part, because like you think of the world today, how many people are still Christian or Muslim, etc. To them believe that we are all made in God's image, and then all of a sudden these fucks come out of space like, oh hey, we're different. What the fuck? You know, it could mess up.
Yeah, okay,
people's
God's
kinda-
image and all that shit. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking about more like how the church is like the most profitable organization in the entire world.
But also,
So you destroy that, you get rid of all this money that people just give to you for no reason.
sure.
Yeah.
And then there was another one.
True. Yeah, you literally sell nothing.
Yeah, and the other opinion on aliens and how should they ever come, what will be the position, and essentially, people believe it'll be like a false flag operation. Essentially, going. So let's just say tomorrow they're hovering around. The position is the government will bomb an area, going, oh, it was the aliens. We should not be okay with this sort of.
I've
thing.
heard that. I've heard that as well. Like
The-
they'll pretend they attacked us, so we turn on the aliens.
Yeah, but these are just crazy presumptions.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. But I-
100%.
this fucking episode
That's what
is
we're
crazy.
here for.
That's exactly why we're
But-
not trying to just like say that, Anyway, go
Yeah,
on.
but like I remember just listening to that and just kind of going, "Fuck!" Like that would be scary, dude. Like essentially, their position was the first alien contact will be a lie. It will be they are here to hurt us.
Well, I think the main reason like higher powers, government or whatever,
Shadow
corporation,
governments.
just all that shit keeps it a secret is religion, and like I said, money. It goes religion and money go fucking hand in hand. Fair. Also, oil. Because with
Yeah.
aliens come, oh, how the fuck did you get here from
Different
way the fuck
technology.
there?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we can just generate fucking energy from the air? Oh, yeah, let's just do that then.
Yeah.
Fuck the oil.
Well,
Wouldn't it be fucked if it was something that didn't require oxygen or required a different level, so like all the oxygen's fucking burned off or something
Oh my
crazy?
God,
like
yeah.
I don't know how it's possible,
Well,
but
like, this is, I don't know, man. It's,
Well-
I feel like that would be why it would be utter mayhem in the entire world, because then everything is a question. And all your beliefs.
I don't.
Really? You don't
I
think,
really
You
don't.
don't think the fucking crazy nuts.
see, hold on. I think they
Seriously, you don't. You think it would just be like, oh, cool.
No, I don't think it would be like, oh, cool. But I think there are progressive and modern parts of the world that would learn to adapt. Like you got to learn to adapt with the facts. Like we sit around here and talk about climate change. It's not comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
this would be far less comfortable. Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
But then there are backwards parts of the world that would freak the fuck out, and they would do nothing because they can do nothing.
I don't know, man. I don't know because it's
Unless they go
2019
District 9.
and there's fucking neo-Nazis over in the States fucking just hating everyone. Still, and it's
Yeah, but
2019.
Yeah,
I mean,
but what the fuck would they do?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that people, even in I guess, well-developed parts of the world are still fucked.
Yeah.
They're still with their belief system, with religion and all that kind of shit. So if they dedicated their whole life to one belief and then seen something come from the heavens, out of fucking, like, imagine just seeing, like, the fucking Empire State Building, like a shit the size of that, just come out of the sky. You'd just be like, oh my god. And if they didn't blow you up, and if they were here in peace and shit just started changing, you'd probably either fucking murk yourself or just go crazy.
I don't know, man, because there's an incredible religious propensity to just ignore things.
That's, yeah.
And do these, I always talk about these fucking mental backflips that are required to still be religious in the modern age, you know? Constantly exempting further and further tenets of a religion so that it still looks reasonable. You know, it would just be one more thing.
Out of 7 billion, sorry, Mickey. Go next. Next. Out of 7 billion people, I think a lot of those people would flip their switch. I mean, just based on how a lot of the world reacts to other things.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I think it would be to little to no consequence. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm agreeing with both of you very much, but I'm very much more siding with Fresh on this because I think they'll just get used to it. It's just part of the ever-changing life as we live.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I unfortunately got through that awful movie Ted. And it just made me think of Aliens again because you're like, oh look, this bear came to life, and everyone's like, oh my god, and then the narrator's like, and then everyone just kind of got on with their life because like, okay, now what?
Yeah,
let's fucking move on.
People would get,
I think there will be a bit of calamity at the beginning.
Oh, at the beginning it would be mayhem.
I think people are going to be pretty upset about it.
It depends on.
No, I think it'll be like full John Wick.
But
John will come for you, and you will do nothing.
And you will do nothing
because you can do nothing.
Yeah, but those are the people. There are people who think they will be able to do something, just like the people who are marching in the streets with neo-Nazi signs.
But dude, but do you know how happy it would make me? You're probably right.
Yeah.
How happy it would make me to see the fucking doomsday preppers and the rednecks trying to do battle in a field against alien invaders, and I'd just be sitting back here, you know, watching in 7D fucking hologram transmission, just like get them invaders,
get them aliens.
This is probably again not as extreme, but imagine the world when electricity first presented that.
Okay.
There are people to this day who reject it.
Mm-hmm.
Who reject electricity?
Yeah, there are.
What do you mean reject it?
Or don't.
The Amish. They don't.
Yeah, they don't reject its existence.
No, but they just go, you know what? Don't care. Nope. We're doing our own thing still. So it's kind of the same thing, again, adding more to Fresh's point, where it's just like, these people will go, yeah, they're here. Nope, don't care. I'm still doing my thing.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Regardless of them.
I get it. But at the same time, contact with, like, if the whole Earth knew about aliens, like, I guess, like I said, it's situational. If it was just, like, a dude, like a being at a press conference or something. But if there's, like, news footage of, like, fleets of ships coming down or a huge ship and it was worldwide news, that would probably be one of the single biggest moment in human history.
Probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that trumps everything we have already seen. So we have no fucking idea the reaction. That's why I think they keep it under wraps. But I think now, like Mickey said, how over half of the people believe they exist, they're starting to just bring it into
just normalize
pop culture, normalize it before it happens. Oh, like when it comes, like, yeah, we already knew that. It's just there now, and then people will just go on, right? It's like conditioning.
Yeah, I get it. First of all, I don't think the government is that good at stuff.
Right?
You know?
Like the real government or the ones we know about?
Oh, fuck you.
Aliens.
I hate those.
Shadow governments.
Shadow governments. The reptilians.
Reptilians. Oh, actually, I got a list of some funny,
I got it up too,
funny named alien species here.
No, I get what you're saying, though. I totally get it because we're those kind of people. We would do nothing because we know we can do nothing. We just enjoy it.
I would be trying to learn, you know?
Well, yeah,
I'd probably get fucking killed. Like some alien tries to have sex with me and I die horribly.
Yeah, because his wang's like 18 feet long.
Why does it have to be a dick? Why can't it be an alien lady?
Why can't it be an appendage?
So its vagina just swallows you and fucking.
Or
uses
maybe
you for
they're
minerals.
agendered. Maybe they've all got the same parts, and
How
I'm just
fucked
like,
up would this be? I
what's
had
up?
this thought the other day. I'm like, okay.
Okay,
I wonder
well,
because
you,
I watched.
You
what?
just talked about an 18-foot penis, and you go, so how weird would this be?
well, no,
Not
we're
talking about the penis.
gender and shit. I remembered I watched an anime, and it's like sci-fi, obviously futuristic, and like some of the people grow up with no gender, and then like at a certain age they can pick what they want to be, and then the gene gets activated.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird? Is it like not weird,
Yeah.
but like interestingly weird?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, it just for some reason reminded me of that thought.
On the topic of that, should aliens exist, do you think that they would be gendered?
No.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Based on the way humanity is going, if they came here, they would be, oh god, so much smarter than us.
Well, if they came here, we'd have to assume that.
I think they would.
I think Mickey means like biologically speaking.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think they would have evolved to be genderless.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
I think yes. And the reason I think yes is because I was listening to a biologist, and she was talking about the differences in life between sexual and asexual creatures.
Right.
And apparently the start of the evolutionary ramp has sexuality pretty low on it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you
No
stay
kidding.
either single cellular or multicellular microscopic organism, or you develop into something
Oh, I'm not talking
like a
about
bug.
I'm not talking about. I think
But
natural.
even bugs have sex, so that's not even.
Well,
bad.
go ahead.
Sorry,
what do
I
you
think
mean?
at a point natural evolution stops. Like,
See, for
okay,
Okay,
that's
well
half my
then-
point.
but okay. So do you
no,
think?
hold on.
yeah, okay.
So it would be evolution by themselves. They're like by their own technology. Like they would start evolving themselves.
Ooh.
That's how I think even humans will go.
Interesting.
Because there will be no need to wait millions of years if we can just alter our bodies through science,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
why evolution stops? It's done.
we just do it how we want.
Or aliens evolve themselves. That's why I think it'll be genderless.
I want to be a mermaid. Okay, we'll do that for you.
Think about if you could just grow an army. Like, there's so many possibilities. Like, you could just grow a bunch of armies and train them or, like, program them.
Or if you're Italian, there's so many possibilities.
Possibilities, baby! Ravioli. I don't know. I thought that was just an interesting thing. Sorry, Mickey.
No,
What were
it
you
is
gonna say?
for me, it's just my understanding of evolution. Period is for us to even be here, there had to have been a separation of. So how do I explain this the best way? For us to have existed, we needed to coexist with gender. That's how we evolved to where we are. So essentially, it's like if it is how they say it was, we were all single cell organisms doing our own thing, but then suddenly we needed help, and on some level, and gender broke off from that. It's like
Just say sex because
sex. Excuse me. Sex broke off from essentially us needing to work together, and from single cell organisms. It just all of a sudden they're going, this works better. Let's just keep doing this.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Like, you mean like sex works better? Like, if you're a single cell organism, you're saying sex works better, let's just keep having sex?
As they were,
I was a single cell organism having no sex for a long time. So it does not work better.
from what I read, it was essentially single cell organisms. They evolved by themselves, but then got to a point where it's like this isn't working anymore,
Right.
And something evolved differently,
No,
and then they
you're
come in.
wrong.
Okay,
Just
no,
stop.
please go ahead.
Yeah,
It's
is
just,
this just like a theory?
it was a theory that I read
okay.
that
Oh,
of
you read it,
why
okay.
there are genders, sexes. Period. Was it we needed to work together on some level for us to continue evolving.
Okay, well, you're just restating the thing I already said. But
Oh, sorry.
when you start at single cell organism, then you get to multicellular organisms.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
Okay. I'm just
Before
there's-
you get-
there's 1.5 cell.
Yeah. Like before you get to dicks and vaginas, you
well, yeah, I wasn't jumping.
Yeah, I just think that eventually down the road, thousands and thousands of years, it'll become pretty much obsolete.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just a hunch.
It's just a whole lot of bullshit we talk here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is all from my fucking mind. This has zero science. This is all futurism.
Futurama.
No, not that. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you think there is any alien life within our solar system, specifically on Mars?
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Or was there ever?
I don't know. That's a really hard question because I literally have no idea. I've never really I've looked at the evidence for life on Mars and shit and all that, and just
Now
nothing.
you're a skeptic. Now you're a skeptic.
No,
We've been back to
nothing-
the moon 40 times, but now you're a skeptic.
Well, yeah, on life in our solar.
In our
okay,
solar system.
sorry, intelligent life or just life in general?
Well, either or. Whatever.
Okay,
whatever
no,
you
not
like.
intelligent life for sure.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna put it. I don't know about creatures and shit, microscopic life, even in these oceans under the fucking ice.
Yeah.
If there's oxygen and there could be carbon-based life forms. Who fucking knows? They could be small. They could be big. Imagine they're huge. Imagine they're just fucking whales the size of fucking the Chrysler plant. Who knows what is out there, man? I don't know.
What I think is fucking crazy is the extremophiles that have lived through all of the nutso waves that Earth has gone through, the extreme heats and colds.
Oh, yeah.
So you think about those sorts of creatures, and what isn't possible?
The sea
really?
bear? Are you talking about the sea bear?
No,
Oh, those things.
I'm
I like
specifically
the
talking
horseshoe
about-
crab.
Oh,
That's what a lot more my mind too.
What's the one fucking called? Tardigrades. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
the bears.
Well, the sea bear. That's what people call them because they look like a bear. Isn't it called a sea bear?
Sea bear?
I believe they're called sea bears, but yes, they're
That's
the
what I was
microscopic
talking about, yeah.
organisms who can literally live in the vacuum of space.
Yeah. They think they're like aliens or something. When I typed in sea bear and that
Yeah,
came
fucking
up,
SpongeBob, what the hell?
fuck?
I'm scared to type in sea bear because I feel like I'm gonna get gay porn.
Yeah, sea
You
bear.
got a problem with gay porn?
There we go. Tardigrade.
Yeah, tardigrades. Yeah,
Tardigrade.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Because it looks like a bear.
If I may, I'll answer the question you asked, Slick. If there was life in our solar system, I don't think it was on Mars. If I understand right, we're slowly getting closer to the sun. Like the next 100 billion years will be super close to it or something. If there was life on another planet, if that's the case, if that's how the solar system is working, it would have been on Venus. Where now it's just it has now gotten too close and nothing fucking exists there. Like I don't think if we could go there we would find a trace of life because of how close it is, right? From my understanding of the solar system, if we did, it would have been on Venus.
Sorry, it's called a water bear, not a sea bear.
Water
Oh, okay.
bear.
Dude, these things are fucking amazing.
They are pretty cool looking. They're cute. As you're watching this episode, look up the sea bears.
Listening.
Oh, the water
listening.
bears, excuse me. Watching, seeing, listening.
You have no
Fuck.
fucking idea what you're
Not a
Man, I don't-
goddamn clue.
That's what you guys are my filter. I say things, and then you go, "Oh, Sean, this," and I go, "Oh, okay."
saying. See, you just referred to yourself in your slave name.
Jesus.
Can I say that on here?
Yeah, why don't we see whatever the
I
fuck we
don't
want?
fucking know.
My birth name, my given.
2019, everyone's pissed at shit.
It's true. Everyone is
Ew.
be pissed
It just
at
looks like a-
aliens.
Yeah, okay, go on with these. I was just amazed by them.
Okay. Anyway, my point is that those things can exist in crazy conditions. So, especially if you think about the idea that life came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any real basis for that, but it's one of the theories to explain the origin of life outside of, abiogenesis, which is essentially chemistry turning into biology at some point, right? And the interesting thing about that is it only ever needed to happen once.
Yeah.
So talk about, oh, this is really improbable. Well, how many things have ever died? It only needed to happen once.
Yeah.
True.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your point.
No, my point is just that things can live in crazy conditions, so there could easily have been some sort of cosmic exchange. We know Mars used to have an atmosphere. It only has a weak magnetosphere now, not enough to hold any atmosphere in. So nothing can live there.
Yeah.
But why?
Is there for
Why not?
sure ice on Mars?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, did that come out as
They
like
found
a-
that. Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
What about liquid water? I heard there
No.
might be.
No liquid water.
That would
But
got
but the ice indicates that it used to run, so they think that
Well, I know I heard something. They found a lake, or was that disproven?
a lake. I don't know about that.
I just thought they found
Hold
snow
on.
at the poles.
Fresh, slick, and Mick. Google astrophysics.
Yeah, like for real. There's
When-
so much fucking shit, dude.
When I was a kid and we were talking about space and stuff like that in grade school, I thought that there was possibly a planet that was just like ours, somewhere
Yeah, bro.
far, far, far away, that got hit by something and blew up, and a chunk of it came and smacked on Earth, and that was kind of charged the carbon exchange in life as we know it today.
Subglacial,
be true.
subglacial liquid water.
On Mars found.
2018, Italian Space Agency reported the detection of a subglacial lake on Mars, 1.5
wow.
kilometers or 1 mile below the southern polar ice cap, and spanning 20 kilometers horizontally. The first evidence for a stable body of liquid water on the planet.
That's fucking
I
cool.
wonder why we didn't hear about it.
Because it was in Italian.
Yeah, I think that's a legit. I'm trying to see if it came back as like, oh, it was just like sand moving or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah,
Back to aliens. So, aliens is just so fucking cool to think about because of all the potential implications, but it really seems unlikely when you just consider the hard data, and that's why I liked how Interstellar portrayed it.
right.
You know, because they went out to vast reaches of space, traveled through wormholes, you know, flimsy as those explanations are, and visited other potentially habitable Earth-like planets and found zero life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sort of a realistic examination of those probabilities. And then the only other thing that they knew for sure existed turned out to be more evolved humans.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It was pretty cool. I liked it.
You said you didn't like that movie.
It grew on me.
Never saw it, actually.
No, I mean
Don't let me leave, Murph.
what?
Never saw it.
You've never seen Interstellar?
No.
Who the fuck are you?
He's seen a bunch of fucking Hitchcock films no one even knows anymore.
I wasn't a big fan of the actors.
This guy sits there and watches Sandlot on repeat.
You weren't a big fan of what?
The actors. What's the Anne
Matt
Hathaway and Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey?
What is wrong? What about the director?
Who was the director?
Christopher Nolan?
Oh,
Do you even know?
I should see it then.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Where do you even get information?
Well, no, I just saw the actors like, I don't care. I'm very picky with my movies. I'm really
Yeah,
bad.
picky to the point you just look at some guy's face and be like, yeah, I'm going to hate this
Well, no,
movie.
You're very picky with your movies, but I've walked in on you at work watching full seasons of Xena Warrior Princess.
Hey, I had to get through
Oh.
that.
Jesus Christ.
It's funny.
Evan Almighty.
It's a funny show. Evan Almighty.
Ah, okay. Anyway, yeah. As far as life in our solar system, I think if anything, it's going to be like microscopic or micro, whatever the fucking words are to describe that. Because I ain't no space science. Definitely not space science. But I don't know. That's interesting. I'm open to it though. Like I'm open to the possibility. I think there is a small chance that there could be. But yeah, I don't know. It's just too. If there was, it would be like, oh, then there's fucking life everywhere. That's how I feel. Like if it's like Earth and then like there's shit on Mars and shit in like Venus's moons and shit, like both of them. If we just start finding all these like creatures or some shit, it's like there's like fucking everywhere. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then that just triples it, like the chances of finding life.
Okay.
In a way.
Yeah,
In a
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I know. But obviously the interesting question, they're both interesting questions, but the more interesting question is intelligent life.
Yeah, see, that, I feel like, I don't know. Because now we're talking like, oh, how long have they been there? How intelligent are they? Like, can they just cloak their whole planet?
Okay, but
from
what about
detection?
like fucking Graham Hancock? You know?
Oh, God, this is going off the rails.
No,
what do
because
you
he
wanna-
was all like, oh, temples on Mars and shit and all this.
Yeah,
stuff, which he
yeah,
has
like-
recanted now. But I mean, there's still lots of people who believe that shit.
I don't know, because no one's... Like, there's a thing flying around, a couple things, and like a robot on Mars.
What? Oh, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's what's on Mars. Like, I just feel like we won't know until we put fucking feet on the ground, you know? Like, then you can see it, see what it is. I don't know. Who fucking knows? Maybe it is a fucking temple and the sand covered half of it, so it kind of looks like a mountain. I don't know.
So one of the biologist lady, she was talking about.
Biologist lady.
Well, there are a lot of
Yeah, no, I know.
scientist names
it.
in this stuff I was looking up. One of the things she said was like you have to consider the biological impact that we would have just by going on Mars with all our microbacteria, and then the potential danger of contamination coming back.
Right.
Obviously, you could sterilize, but what could we do to the environment? We don't fucking know.
No, we don't. Yeah, it could be huge.
Right. So here's what I was thinking about when I heard that. The project to Mars, let's say it's SpaceX. Let's say they got the money for it. So what do you need? Okay, so you need 5 willing people. Then you need construction crews. Then you need a bajillion scientists. Can you imagine being like one dude and it's just your job to calculate like soil on Mars?
That'd be dope.
It'd be fucking sick,
Yeah,
right? Like to
yeah.
be a cog in that machine?
Yeah,
That'd be fucking cool.
I remember looking at possible ways to inhabit Mars, and one of them was nuking it
Yeah,
before we
actually,
go there, which could create an atmosphere.
I started writing a sci-fi story a couple of years ago, and it was about the possibility of Mars inhabitation, and they think that might be enough to knock the magnetosphere.
Space sounds.
I had a girl magnetosmear me once.
God damn it.
It might be enough to knock the magnetosphere back into functioning, which will hold an atmosphere together again. So if we could, who fucking knows, pump oxygen in, bring plant life that would feed off CO2, whatever. Who fucking knows,
Terraforming,
really?
pretty much, right?
Terraforming, exactly. But then another thing it said was, what if just a fucking asteroid came?
And hit it?
And hit Mars. That could do it if it was, big enough. We don't know, which it just cracks me up because I think about in superhero movies all of these complex philosophical questions we get into, what do you do in the existence of superpowers, and how do you morally operate, because obviously you can't be a direct instrument of the law because then you're immediately corrupted, and all these crazy things, and the answer they always have is just punching shit.
Yeah.
I will punch
And
the
our
justice
answer
out of
as
you.
humans is we're just gonna hit it with a rock.
Yeah.
Like
We're
that's
gonna
fucking so funny.
We're gonna fucking hit it so hard it's just gonna wanna behave.
Yeah.
God.
That's exactly how we look at Mars. We're like, hey. Oh no, I'm not even gonna say that line because it's
Fuck you,
2019. We're good. Oh, I had so many good ones. Anyway, yeah, you're right. It's fucking amazing. Actually, I've never read that, the nuking.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
read that.
Now, you brought up a little bit of philosophical. Let's just say we are visited, and you had an opportunity to ask, let's just say 3 questions, and they'll be answered in full. Would you have any? Either of you. So,
How do we live long enough to do this? Because that would automatically make our lives longer instantly.
okay.
And I've said before how I want to live forever. I want to see everything. I want to learn every fucking thing there is to learn.
So this is under the understanding that these beings have extended lives, or
They have to. They have to travel that distance.
isn't it?
Well, not
What about
necessarily.
the
They
bending
don't
of space time? Where there's
have
like
to.
boink over.
that's not really real. You know that, right?
No, but
That's a
that-
movie thing.
That's not real.
It's not real.
I thought this was like Einstein level possibilities.
No.
Okay, then fuck me then. Sorry.
What do you mean Einstein level
Like
possibility?
his he theorized that essentially we can bend time and space,
They're-
jump to one
yeah,
thing,
man,
and then
shit's
unbend it, and
happening
we're
with
there.
Yeah, gravity bends time and space.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about the fabric of time and space itself. So we can bring Pluto to us. You step
You're just
over.
throwing words around, bro.
Yeah,
I'm throwing words around so you guys go, oh, Sean, you
The
you mean
fabric.
this.
I was
I know
thinking
what
about
you're
the
talking about.
concrete
Creating
of
a-
time and space.
You're talking about space moving around you, so you avoid moving at the speed of
Yeah.
light.
So that's what I mean. Like maybe that's what they
A wormhole.
have mastered. That's why they can do it. Anyway, I'm sorry. Keep going. So, how do we live forever?
Right. How do we live at least long enough to make this travel relevant. How do we save our fucking planet? And how do we do what they did? Those would be the 3 questions I'd ask.
Okay.
I'm with you. I think you can bend space, just like paper dog.
Okay. But would you have questions for these beings?
Yeah, you guys grow good weed on your planet.
Yeah,
man. I would ask them if there are creators, or if they know our creators.
Okay.
The question presumes the answer there, though.
What?
If they know our creators,
Yeah.
you're assuming
I guess.
they're creators.
Well, who knows? If they can get here, they can probably create life.
Well, they might just be like, nope, you guys were just here just like we were there.
Exactly, or not. You know what I mean? I don't know.
All right.
Or if they know, maybe another species.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
Yeah. It's the dogs.
I would ask what their main source of energy is,
Okay.
like power.
Mm.
And I'd ask them if they can bend space and time.
Yeah, my buddy Mickey was talking about
Yeah,
this. Can you do
honestly,
that?
I would, because I don't know. For humans to assume that we can't do something like that right now at this point in existence, I think is foolish.
Well, again, like we're finding
To be fair.
over the past 100 years all the technological advances we've made.
They don't
Right.
even know what the black shit in space is, like the void of space.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is yet. So to say you can't travel, the only way you can travel is forward, like through
Yeah.
time. Is I feel ignorant right now at this point in time. So, but I think, but I
I
also
understand you.
think that you're correct, and they definitely have extended lives, even if they can travel like this. Like, why wouldn't you just have extended lives?
Yeah.
So you could just go everywhere.
If you can if you can figure out all of the physical problems involved in interstellar travel, and you can't figure out how to live a few years longer, you suck.
You suck balls,
Yeah,
man.
you're like, oh
For
no, actually,
sure.
we went through 20 generations just to get here.
Yeah, right?
Sad.
Now talking about we're on the questions of these. And then we started talking about space travel. I guess should we talk about that next? I love talking about like space travel.
Yeah, fire away. It's
Yeah.
our fucking show, man.
It is
Say
our
whatever
show.
the fuck we want.
All right, so space travel then, because that would be a key point into, intelligent life.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe visiting here, or just fucking.
On their way somewhere else, and like, oh, what's that? Hey,
They gotta have a form if they're intelligent. Probably have a form of space travel.
I can see that.
Yeah, probably way better than ours.
Well, I remember the last big jump that we had was like solar sails to help with space
Yeah,
travel.
they're launching that. I think
Yeah.
Bill Nye is doing something with that. Did you read about
Didn't
that?
they put something on a fucking satellite that went out? Like one of the probes?
I think it was like a small version of it. Something happened. I can't remember. I just read about this, but they're doing another one. I think Bill Nye's involved and someone else, and it's like a big one, and they're gonna test the solar sail to see how it works
Okay.
up there. Because I mean, it's a vacuum, so there's like no friction. If you can just push it using whatever fucking gamma ass rays or some shit.
But I think you're still stuck by, like, by the limitations of speed, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
that thing's not going
Yeah.
to travel anything like the speed of light, so
No.
it's still going to be decades to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Deep space travel right now, as we know it, takes
Well,
fucking forever.
With the solar sail, I just think of Christopher Columbus. Like, okay, this is the best we got. Let's go. Take us a
yeah,
couple months.
it's like just keep going.
But just a quick little blurb. The Planetary Society's Light Sail 2 mission is one example of this technology in action.
Light Sail 2 is out there.
So
yes.
it is out there.
All right.
Interesting.
Cool. Yeah. So they're doing a bunch of shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. Space travel is crazy because I think it's going to totally change eventually.
Well, it's got to, because just like...
I mean, it already is.
Yeah, the way it is now, though, it is still too fucking dangerous. That's the basis. Is like you have all this firepower so that could, at the slightest wrong math thingy, what do you call it? Equation.
There you
goes
go.
wrong.
Giorgio.
It blows up. That's it. You're done.
Yeah. Challenger.
I was.
That's not a bad joke. That's
But,
seriously, that
I
shit
was-
happened.
Yeah.
I was watching this documentary. They're talking about technologies and oil and stuff like that. But this one guy, the fucking most naysaying asshole, they're going like,
Fresh? Just kidding.
I deserve that.
These people are going, yeah, we want to make it more family friendly. We'll do just outside the atmosphere trips for the family and blah, blah. And this guy goes, no, we're not there yet. There is so much fuel that could just explode. We can't do this for fun. We can't do this for cheap. We can't do this safely.
Right. So you're talking propulsion system. I mean, that's
Just to get out of the fucking
propulsion.
gravity, right?
Right.
But
just to get out of the
To
gravity.
get out of the gravity.
get out of the fucking gravity.
Once you're out of the gravity never exists anymore.
But
It's not a
Jesus.
reoccurring thing
But-
on other planets or.
getting a little like science fiction-y, if we built them into space, I guess we were outside that kind of issue, right? So we still got to get up there, but that's, I guess, would probably have to be the next step, is building these
No,
spacecrafts
I
in space.
disagree with that.
Why?
Completely. Because then how the fuck, if you're not prepared to get off of a fucking planet, how are you gonna explore a planet?
Well, I didn't say that was the final step. I said it'd just be a
So
next
you
step.
build them in space and then you're able to land and then get back up.
Oh no, I didn't say anything about them landing again. Like it'd be like have to like, okay, we're out there, off we go. Oh, we're looking at this, and then we come back.
Kind of like ships and rowboats.
Yeah.
I kind of see something to this. Just how we
have landers, okay.
we have shipyards that build and launch on the water.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah, you know what? I agree. But I feel like that's only if you're using rocket. So here it goes. Oh, you guys know what's coming. Do you know? We'll just talk about the Bob Lazar for a quick second.
Oh, fucking
Just a
Bob
quick
Lazar.
second. Just a quick second.
No, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But like, I did not buy half of what this fucking dude was saying.
Did you watch the doc?
I did
Do you
not,
even know who
sorry.
he is?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna lie.
Do you ever
Yeah.
listen to anything we say? Ever?
I read anything.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Ever. Fuck.
Love you guys.
Aliens.
Aliens.
So I think Fresh watched the documentary of Bob Lazar.
Yeah, I watched the documentary. I listened to Joe Rogan. I did a little bit of reading.
I didn't do that yet. I didn't listen to the podcast. But so what do you think? Should we give Mickey like a quick summary of who Bob Lazar is? Or should we just let him read it? while we talk
No.
about
Give
it?
him a quick summary.
I can be like the people who listen. Go, oh, who's Bob Lazar?
Okay,
And
Bob-
Through me, they learn.
Right. So he came out in, what was it, 89. Said he worked at S4, which was like a base on near Area 51 in the Nevada desert and shit like that.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. He pretty much put Area 51, Groom Lake, all that shit on the map. Like, he made
Sure.
it huge.
Okay.
By coming out and saying he's reverse engineering UFOs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, and propulsion systems, and he's a physicist and all this shit. At first, he didn't disclose his identity, and then he just came out with who he was,
Okay.
and then he started really telling the truth, or whatever you make this out to be. So he's a whistleblower. Ultimately, that's what he is.
Okay.
Because he states that he thinks it's a crime to have this technology available to the people of the earth and not tell them about it.
Okay.
Right.
And that's why he came clean. Not because of aliens or any of this shit. He says
just-
he never really seen an alien. Stuff like that. He just worked on propulsion systems.
Yeah.
At a place called
And,
S4.
and just his moral standing as people need to know.
Yeah. And now he lives in Michigan, just right over there.
Oh.
And he owns a company that sells chemicals, like bad chemicals, I think.
For what, though? Like,
I don't know. Fuck. I can't. I'm not a chemist,
Okay,
bro.
no.
So it's just kind of went
like
over it.
rat
Like,
poison's bad
no,
chemicals.
like he sells like chemicals for like experiments and shit like that,
Yeah.
and he makes fireworks as well. He likes fireworks. That's what he does now.
Well, you gotta have a pastime.
So he went from being a physicist, re-engineering or reverse engineering UFOs or spacecrafts, and and to be clear, he never says that they told him it was from space. He says that he thinks it was because there's no way we could develop this sort of technology that he's seen. Pretty much what he's seen was a gravity propulsion system. So a way to alternate the force or whatever that's known as gravity around you. Or the gravity waves, the
Yeah.
ripples, So that's like a brief summary. There's a lot more to it, obviously. So we'll just go on. What do you think of that? Obviously, I already kind of know. But go.
So the only thing that made me stop and be like, oh, was
Okay.
he had advanced claims on element 115.
Okay. Yeah.
Moscovium,
Yeah, some crazy shit. Russians, 2003, right?
which was synthesized
Mm-hmm.
by the Russians in 2003. Interesting. But as Mickey said, there are already allowances in the periodic table for as yet undiscovered or unrealized elements.
100%.
So even that is kind of like, But
Oh yeah.
if I'm honest, I think this dude's a fucking huckster.
Why?
I just don't buy it.
What? Like his story, his
Most
life?
of what he's saying.
Okay, but why would he say it though? You got to have a reason.
Well, but
Why is he a huckster?
15 minutes of fame, people have done crazier things. Just,
Yes,
again, like
but-
I'm bottom of the barrel scraping here.
But you gotta see this because he straight up says he has nothing to gain. Like he doesn't want to be in the public eye. Like he doesn't. It's kind of
But
ruined
if
his
you didn't
life.
want to be, if that's the case, then he would never came with his name. He would have always been a shadow.
No,
Just-
but he thought it was important. Because you can by giving the world your name,
You're right.
you can kind of
Again,
make it a little bit more believable.
I could argue it, but then it'd just be point for
yeah,
point.
that's
there's no
what this
point.
whole thing
Yeah.
is. I mean, it's been like this since 1989. It's this. It's an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just didn't find him convincing, and all of the holes in his own personal history, and a little bit from Wikipedia that I didn't know, but apparently he was also arrested for aiding and abetting a
Yeah,
prostitution ring.
did you watch the documentary?
Oh, I
that was
must
in
have
there.
missed that
Yeah,
part.
that was in there.
Oh yeah, I did watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway,
Man's got to eat, I
hilarious.
guess.
Yeah, dude, physicists get horny.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
when I
That's
think
true.
prostitution ring, I think like worse. Like you know,
It was a
probably,
brothel
like,
or some shit. It was
Okay.
like laundering
All right, well,
money.
'cause
I don't even know.
When I think prostitution ring, I just think like
Yeah, it
a
was
child
good.
sex slave, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
that's
no,
not good.
it wasn't that. It was just like had to do with a brothel that he invested in or some shit like that, and it was like illegal
But-
to do that.
Okay.
But then there's also the fact of his education, which is
They deny it.
there's no record of.
Right.
No, not they deny. There's no record
Well,
of.
they, yeah. But I mean, that's pretty easy to erase.
But he says he went to MIT and Caltech. I mean,
But I mean, he has family and friends that say they dropped him off.
Well,
They picked
but-
him up, and
and
he went there.
like-
Like if he's like one guy said, if he was playing this off, he played it off for a long time, and like.
I mean,
And there's documents of him working for those tech companies.
Yes, I
So
know
how did
that.
he get hired? And he says it like, "Well, you think they hired me out of high school?"
See, and
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
who
not gonna-
knows? Who
That's the
knows?
thing is, I'm not going to claim to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
a little conspiracy tinfoil hat thing. Like you can't think it's not above the government's power to make this guy look like a fucking fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I guess.
again, it's almost every day we're finding these different cover-ups and et cetera, not just in our country, in other countries. Like it's not beyond the realm of possibilities. Is what I'm saying.
Propaganda, man, exists everywhere. Just false information. I mean, it's easy to
Christ,
falsify things.
The Church of Scientology does it. They try to discredit people constantly.
Yeah,
who try and leave the
Trump
church.
does it.
You know what I mean?
The
Like
president
so.
of the United States now.
So again, not really the point, but
no, okay. So like I don't want to sound fuck it. Like, I believe this guy.
Sure.
I believe him because of how he talked. Like, yeah, he was shifty, but I kind of like with that him being like the way he was. I was like, yeah, his whole life has just been shit after this.
Sure.
The one thing that sold me was the conversation, and remember when it just fast forwards and you didn't hear anything there in the woods.
Yes.
Right, and you're just like, well, what the fuck? I wanted to hear the conversation. What's the fucking point of the movie if I
Yeah.
can't hear that, right? And apparently, and this is true, it's documented and shit. He got raided by the every agency the next day. His shop got raided. They rebuilt his computers, like they replicated all the info, and they said they were looking into something like a receipt for some guy who killed his wife, who bought chemicals from him. Like years ago. But they had like the FBI, they had the whatever other companies in there. That to me was like, and then here's the reason though, touching on the 115, it was, he said that he stole a small particle of that element and kept it with him.
Okay.
And that's why he got raided, pretty much, is that he has part of that element and
Yeah.
it's very valuable.
Well,
apparently.
and again, like
Sounds like sci-fi, right? But
you look at history where the FBI, the DEA have always been so, careful with what they do and make sure everything is neat and tidy. Like, what was that one where they raided the that house and just killed men, women, and children because they were believed to be of a cult. And then in court, they're like, the FBI was coming out, they were shooting through the door at us, so we had to shoot back, and they go, okay, present the door. Oh, we lost it. It was like a fucking big steel door. How do you fucking lose a door?
Yeah.
And again, it's...
Yeah, okay. But the point of Bob Lazar is the propulsion system.
Yes.
Okay. I just found that really interesting. And it's pretty much making your own gravity, like nullifying gravity and sliding.
That's crazy.
Right.
Right? That's what
Yeah.
I gathered from it, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And apparently it's an antimatter generator that powers this shit and blah, 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 blah. How you feel about that?
I think it's nonsense. I think it'd be sweet if it existed. Yeah, man.
But to actually understand that, it's like a heavy thing.
Because
But
what
it
we
kinda
know,
goes-
what we know about antimatter and its reactivity with matter is just an absolutely unfathomable amount of energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the elimination. So that's cool, and you really wouldn't need it to be that big. But at the same time, we're talking about the risk of rocket fuel. This is
This is antimatter.
thousands of times more dangerous.
Right. Unless they, I guess, stabilized it somehow.
Well, they
Yeah.
have some
And that's-
stabilized.
That's what they say. Antimatter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Which is trippy as fuck. But I was talking about what about gravity in general? Like, what do you think? I'm only asking because we brought up Einstein's law of
Can it be
everything before.
manipulated?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
We can manipulate other physical forces.
Oh,
why
yeah,
not
why not gravity,
you know?
right? That's
we
what-
just
no, I
don't know
think so,
how.
too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, like fuck it, right? Just fuck gravity.
Fuck it, whatever.
Just imagine that you could fucking
Whatever.
It's like whatever.
Fuck it.
I like the formations too. When you started talking about the formations of the craft, and that was another thing when you started drawing that shit, and then he started drawing the cockpit, and he was like, yeah, well, like I don't actually know. Like he said, I never seen any aliens. Like this guy's just talking about a propulsion system. Really, he's not talking about extraterrestrials. He's not claiming to, they're here or anything like that. He's talking about technology.
Yeah, but he's also, this is the thing, is he does some shit that like you would do when you're trying to sell a bullshit story. Like he talks about, he essentially says he saw an alien, but then he goes, I'm not saying I saw an alien. I probably didn't. Whatever.
Right.
To make himself seem more reasonable. It's like, motherfucker, I know what you just did.
But he said
women do this trick in every
Yeah.
argument.
But he did say that when he was younger, and then they asked him again when he's older. So you got that time to reflect on it, and maybe he went out and said something. Like, he's a human too, so maybe he went out and said something like, because that you're talking about the doll, and then he kind of, when they asked him again when he was older, he said, "Oh, it's probably a doll or something," right? Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, you think you got time to think about what you've seen. Maybe his perception changed when time moved on.
Right.
Right. So who knows?
Or maybe
He's a quack.
he's a quack. Or maybe there was this craft there that he saw that claimed to work on this technology, and it didn't actually, and it was just a fucking metal husk, and nothing ever actually happened.
He just tripped on acid for 20 years.
God, that.
Who knows?
Yeah,
In his
listen to that
mom's
motherfucker.
basement.
I believe it. See, and this is where I take it back to what we were talking about. The fourth element. Is that
Fourth
it?
kind.
Fourth kind, and because the fourth kind of. Yeah, that's right. You can make a documentary or make a film that looks like a documentary that isn't. And that documentary, to me, fucking stunk.
Oh yeah, the guy who made it sucks.
Yeah, like, first of all, it was kind of garbage
It was terrible.
to watch. But at the same time, the whole, like, the conversation in the woods, that doesn't actually mean anything.
No, I know.
He just made a shady-looking thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, cool, but you didn't prove anything. And, again, it's like a huckster trick. Like, you know how to persuade people, so
Yeah.
you make it kind of look this way.
I agree with you. I've seen that before. You're just like, yeah, it's exciting, it's enticing, and you want to know exactly.
Yeah, and you I mean, let's face it, as we discussed last time, a little bit of doubt can go a long way. So you plant that fucking seed in people's head and just nurture it a little bit. And they could even come out at the end of that movie and say, this is all bullshit, by the way. But some people are still going to think it.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they did it like that. But that documentary specifically, you know, with the fucking aged hipster on his little cell phone there. First of all, I am of the position that he was not actually on a phone call at all.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just a cheap way to narrate it without using narration. I don't know. It just, the whole thing just looked fucking cheap and goofy.
Right, but is that Bob Lazar's fault?
Interesting.
Right? Like, it's his story, but ultimately he had nothing to do with making the movie itself.
I think there are people who want to believe Bob Lazar
Yeah.
that made that movie, or whatever the fuck it is, and
Flick.
So,
yeah,
but why is it improbable?
the flick of the net.
Like, they confirmed S4 existed. They confirmed everyone knows Area 51 existed. They confirmed, I mean, they got videotapes, tons of video evidence of shit flying over these lakes. You know what I mean? They got confirmation that EG and G or whatever hired people on to go work at S4. They got all this confirmation of his story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He brought names up, and they couldn't find these people until the 2000s. They finally found these people. They confirmed their stories. You know what I mean? Like, so why is it improbable? That, you know what I mean? Like, why? Is it more improbable than probable?
I think it's more improbable than probable because we haven't seen any of this stuff.
Fair enough.
That's my basic answer.
Okay.
My secondary answer is that I don't buy him.
You just don't buy the person he is.
I just, like, based on how he talks and the little tricks he does with his words and everything, like, you know, like one of the things Joe Rogan said, not in that episode, but in a later episode, was like, I think it's incredible that he's kept his story consistent over all these years and it lends credibility. And, like, to me, it kind of doesn't.
No, it's easy.
It's easy, right?
Especially, like, the guy's a legit scientist, obviously, because he does science. Like, it's not, you know, he's been doing science since he was a kid with the rocket bikes and all that. Like, he's a scientist. That's for sure. So for a scientist to keep a story the same for 30 is probably not hard, is what I'm saying. Like, it's easy.
Yeah, but if he saw something at any point and decided to go public with it, he would have, like, you know that when you start lying and slipping up, like, he wasn't the first one to do this.
Oh, no. There's another guy I want to bring up, too.
Okay.
That's probably more credible than him.
Well, let's talk about that guy.
Yeah. So that was based on the propulsion systems of spacecraft. You should look it up because it's interesting.
Okay.
I think the whole concept of the gravity thing is really cool, and I honestly think it's possible one day. And that's why I'll never be successful in life, because I'm just going to be Giorgio.
He's successful.
Giorgio point two. Okay, so there's this guy named. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh,
Holding.
I think it's Paul.
I got
Okay.
none of the Pauls.
Paul Hellyer. Hellyer. So no S at the end. I'm just stupid.
Hellyer.
It's because I was reading.
Was it
R.
apostrophe S? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So no, that's not. Yeah, it's just there's no apostrophe S in his real name. Anyway, he used to be the Canadian Minister of Defense.
I have heard of this guy.
Yes, and he came out and said that
yeah,
the
I've heard of
government.
this
Yeah.
guy.
So. I mean, he could be a fucking quack too. But honestly, I did a lot of. Okay, I was really fucking involved in this shit when I was younger, and I had to stop because I was kind of going crazy with between like philosophy and all my alien videos that I watched. I was like, this is not healthy.
Yeah.
For my psyche. So I stopped. I literally just stopped dead, like reading about conspiracy theories and all that bullshit, and I did philosophy for like years, and then I recently just got back. Anyway, I used to watch a lot of his videos and shit that he says, and I mean, like, the guy doesn't sound crazy.
Fuck, he's
You know
old,
what I
though.
mean?
Jesus.
He does not sound crazy. Like, you know when you just see a guy that you're like, dude, that guy either smoked meth or he's crazy.
And again, to be the
Yeah,
head.
Bob Lazar.
Yeah, exactly. This is a different,
To be the head of the
Ministry of Defense
Ministry of Defense, like
for Canada.
they don't just give that out to a degree.
Dude, his resume is extremely impressive.
Yeah.
And for the fact that he came out and said governments of the world are working with extrterrestrials. He said that
Yeah,
shit,
I remember,
dude, on
yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
Bro, on the fucking floor of some fucking meeting. You got balls like a giant.
Well, And
Dude, I
guess
didn't realize this motherfucker's still alive.
Oh, yeah.
He served
95.
in World War II.
now, again, a little more government cover-up conspiracy. That's a fucking claim. And why are we still not talking about it?
Well,
why is
I
it
don't-
not being investigated?
I mean, like,
You know what I mean?
this shit, like, I think it's Britain released it. I think the States now have released most of it. All the UFO, like, I guess, what would you call them? Footage or
Documents
whatever.
and
All the
footage.
documents that, like, actually mean
Evidence.
something. Like that fucking military plane, the Super Hornet.
Yep.
The 2 Super Hornets flying on the East Coast or whatever, and they saw that fucking disc and it started moving. They're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, bro, it's probably just a drone or something." And then it started like rotating and shit, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is."
Yeah.
And the Super Hornets couldn't keep up with them. Or the Mexican one. Did you see the Mexican?
I didn't see the Mexican one.
The one in Mexico, the Mexican military. Oh, bro, you gotta look that up.
Fuck.
Anyway, all this shit's out there, but it's just kind of like there. You know what I mean? Like it's not important for some reason.
It's not spoken about.
Yeah, like no one. I don't know. People care more about like what Kanye West is doing than like some crazy shit flipping up in the sky and F-18 Super Hornets not being able to track it. Like that's pretty fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
Like think about that. And if that's coming from the military, like what? Then the lie stops there, right? Like they're giving you it.
Yeah, but he didn't make these claims back then, right?
No,
Like,
he
these
came
are all
out. This
much
is
more.
it's like 2005 or some shit,
Yeah.
2000 and then on. But you know, sometimes maybe something breaks. You know, maybe your brain. There's a level of brainwash. We already know there's a level of brainwashing in the world. You're pretty much brainwashed into any kind of organization you get into, without even knowing you are. You just that's what you want, so you start living that life. You're not going to tell the secrets, and then all something maybe fucks with your head and your morals, and then boom, whistle blow.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's just so many variables like with a human psyche, you know, and conscious or being conscious about. what
It
you're
doesn't
doing.
take a lot to get
No, yeah.
lost, and I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, this guy's probably crazy to some extent. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't. I guess these would be all of the evidence that I grew up on and why I think extraterrestrials are here.
But even this, like, he's not saying, you know, he's not saying we have alien craft or anything. He's just saying I saw some shit once.
Yeah, pretty much.
This still doesn't.
I mean,
hold a
there's
lot of
enough
water.
people saying like, you know, well, what did he exactly say?
Well, I got a big part of this is credibility. Would you not say?
Yes,
This dude was high-level government, right?
but you just spent the entire episode talking about how the government is not trustworthy.
Good point. Well, there goes all my
Yep,
arguments.
you're off the show,
Yep.
Giorgio. Get the fuck out of here, Giorgio.
Sorry.
Well, no, but on that though, but I did say
He did not work for the government when he whistle blew, though. I don't think.
No,
he's been in politics.
Is he still
forever.
in the government?
Yeah, he's
Oh, he
still
wasn't the
in the
Ministry
government.
of Defense when he
he is
said
Privy
it.
Council of Canada.
So okay, so what the fuck is that
the fuck
then?
is Privy
If he
Council?
says that there's aliens and they're like, yeah, you can still be on the government. When you fire that guy,
It's Canada. We're very
yeah,
nice.
we're like, yeah, man, bring the aliens. We want to be the melting pot of the universe.
Stephen Harper was a trash heap, and we let him have a job
That's
for 10
true,
years.
man. We love
He
that guy.
definitely did.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But why is it so easy to discredit these people? Right? If they
Show him
have
proof.
Yeah, but what if they don't have proof?
Then you have no credit.
Okay.
It's not a matter of discrediting something. Again, it's just why do we believe things? We believe things because we see things that we believe, or we are convinced by
So-
arguments. And a complete lack of evidence. Oh, I'll just take your word for it.
But I mean, there is evidence, though. There is evidence out there of like unidentified flying objects. Obviously, they're testing.
yes, but you
I know.
yourself said that doesn't
And
necessarily
that's why I
mean
said
anything.
that's why I didn't say spacecraft, alien spacecraft,
Right.
Unidentified flying objects, which mean it could be anything from human spacecraft or human aircraft to alien spacecraft. Who fucking knows what it is? Only the people working on it do. There's tons of evidence of that. There's tons of credible whistleblowers in this field, right? But it's so easy for people to discredit the proof that is shown because it's easy to say, oh, you're quacks. But there is proof. But the logical scientific community, a lot of them don't even look at
See,
it.
interesting that
No, because you're even making a jump as you say that, bro. They're saying there is proof of UFOs still doesn't mean anything.
Okay, but all the proof... No, okay, there's proof that something is going on.
Yes.
They're experimenting with something.
Fine.
That's not things we know of.
Fine.
Right? Okay. So if you're going to have that kind of technology, you're going to limit the amount of proof that's there to the public. Because obviously already, you don't want the public to know. Because you're testing it in the desert over a lake surrounded by mountains. Like, you just don't want people to see it. Probably because it's always a race, a militarization race between superpowers and shit like that. You always want to have the leg up, right?
Could be, but you're already making an assumption.
But
Yeah, I'm just making an assumption because I've never even been to Las Vegas. I've never seen this shit.
No, well, but Christ, you get within just like an area and you're there too long, a military jeep comes out and goes, get moving.
Okay, so where's the proof? My point to all this is that there is loose proof out there that something something is here or has been here. Where's the proof that it hasn't? Like, what do you discredit with all this?
We did this at the very beginning.
I know.
I caught that.
You can't prove it. You can only judge the credibility of the evidence you're presenting, which is little to none.
Okay.
So if you're trying to give me an absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, well, yeah, it kind of is, at least in as much as you want anyone to believe anything.
But I'm talking more for the events that have happened and then were said they were something else. Do you know what I mean? Like so
weather balloons,
the Battle of
essentially?
Los Angeles. They fucking
the Battle of
fired
Los Angeles
a bunch
was-
of fucking shit in the
Yeah.
air and it was a weather balloon.
Well, it was
Right?
nothing.
Or it was not. Was it nothing? Because
Yeah,
I heard
it
it
was-
was a weather balloon.
I think they said that to save face because they basically just, like, the military just kind of lost their shit.
Right. So as far as we know, it was just nothing, and they just fired.
Well,
shit.
this was also during or on the what was it, during World War II?
Yeah, it was
or
during
on
World
the
War II.
cusp.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody's on their fucking toes. So you see a flicker in the stars, you go, "Fuck! What the hell was that?" And you start shooting wildly in the air.
That's literally what happened.
That's a very
Okay,
That makes sense to me.
That doesn't make sense to me though.
It is not hard for you to believe that a bunch of fucking people panicked. Have you ever seen Police?
Well, yeah, I've seen.
yeah. And again, like when
shootings.
Pearl Harbor has, I assume, already happened. Like, oh, we don't want that to happen again.
I don't think that happened yet.
But, well, if it didn't happen yet, there's a bunch of newspaper clips that you can see that say, we're on the cusp of war. The Japanese may be coming to here. Like, they knew there was a possibility it was going to happen. So I could see them very much being on their toes and at the slightest inclination of possible invasion from whatever body, whether it be...
A rumored attack by Japan. Yeah, so it was 42.
so
That was like.
I
right
can
there.
totally see them shooting wildly into the air at nothing.
Yeah.
Or-
and if you want to contest that the U.S. was trying to set up a false flag operation, yeah, sure. That wouldn't surprise me at
Yeah.
all. But
But it's
you know.
also evidenced, again, because, again, we've said it, I think, in this episode and in many episodes talking about people, they're humans, subject
Yes.
to error.
Yes.
Constant error. My goodness,
Yeah.
look at the planet.
Obviously.
So that's what I mean. Again, I'm not as much. Again, like I said at the very beginning, I would love there to be aliens, and I believe that there are, but there's just so many, too many circumstances that would say no.
Okay, so what about the Battle of Los Angeles? Keep going with your argument.
Oh
there.
no, I was just using that one. There's much better ones like the Phoenix Lights.
That one was weird.
I don't know the Phoenix.
You've never
The
looked
Phoenix
at the Phoenix
Lights is
Lights?
kinda-
Oh, you gotta look up the Phoenix Lights.
That's a weird one
It's
because
a triangle. It would, dude. There's
No, it was more of a.
It was this.
Yeah, that. Essentially, a
Okay.
whole
I'll
city.
look it up. Keep
A
going.
whole city saw it. There's a very
It's like
clear.
a fucking plane.
No. You watch. There's a whole video of
Yeah,
it.
like,
It's just
it's
like all of a sudden,
massive.
one light, two light, three light, and it's just in perfect non-moving unison. It just
Yeah.
stays there, and hundreds of thousands of people saw it. There's the video evidence there. What is it? I think they said it was like a flare test or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like
but
that.
flares fall, and they don't light up in such synchronization and stay in one position, and then it's just there's two. Like there's no evidence to prove that it was in fact UFOs, but there's not enough evidence for me to say, oh yeah, that was just a military operation above a fucking city. Like Christ Almighty, they don't do that. They do military operations away from those things. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to see those things. They're again, they're military. They don't want you to see these things.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other one.
What?
I think it's Blackbird.
One thing I wanted to point out, though, was credibility. How easy it is that these people can be discredited for no evidence, right? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's just interesting where this gentleman who was, well respected in the military, it seems to be well respected in the community outside the military, says, yes, they're doing this with UFOs, they've been doing it for years, yada, yada, yada. But because there's no evidence, we're like, yeah, sorry, bro, can't do it.
I wasn't listening. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, it's okay.
I was looking up something else. Anyway, so the Phoenix Lights are a good one.
Okay.
Looking to those. The Battle of Los Angeles. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot it was right near World War. For some reason, I thought it was like 1935 that happened.
Oh, the beginning
So
of
that
World War
was-
II.
What? No, that was World War One.
World War
Wasn't it?
World War
When
One
did
is
fucking-
14 to 18.
14 to 18, and then 30
5
to
45
45
or 47.
Yeah. Was it 47?
Yeah.
World War
I
Two.
think
When did
America
that
jumped
end?
in at 43 and then it went to 47 because it still went on with Japan after.
Are you fucking
Is it
kidding me?
45?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Fucking man, 2 years. I'm off.
Sorry,
I'm
we
sorry.
didn't know information you knew.
World War II?
Counting 7, 8 time.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
You
fuck-
can't
are you
even count
fucking
7,
kidding
8
me?
time.
Yes, I can.
What is 7 8 time?
Let's
It's a
see
time
it.
signature.
I got
for-
drums in the basement.
Yeah, let's go set them up and brush the dust off. Okay, another one.
What the
that-
fuck?
Okay, technology suppression, I feel, is an extremely real thing. Yeah, we've discussed this already, and that would be another reason why they would hide like alien tech, right? Like the SR. Well, and I'm not saying this is alien tech, but think about the SR-71 Blackbird. You guys know that plane?
Educate me about it.
Okay, it was built in 1966. It was a long-range Mach 3 plus strategic reconnaissance aircraft. It was literally the aircraft they modeled the Blackbird from X-Men.
Oh no shit.
Look, it's right here, bro. The SR-17.
Well, I saw the picture and it does look like very much.
1960 fucking 6.
Okay.
This fucking thing
But
existed.
what is the technological wonder of that
They're going
from 66?
They could fly in the fucking atmosphere or stratosphere at Mach 3 plus.
What does that mean though?
What does that mean? It was the most advanced jet on the planet. What do you mean? What do you mean? What does that mean?
So, I know that there's a lot of jets today that can hit Mach stupid.
Oh yeah,
What does it mean that in 1966 they could hit Mach 3 in the stratosphere?
that means that they got a lot of shit we don't fucking know about right now in 2019.
So, does that mean we have not progressed much further from then? Is what I'm asking.
No, I think we like publicly. Yeah, no, we haven't.
Okay.
Like think of the Concorde, supersonic air travel, and shit like that. I understand why they scrapped that program, but wouldn't you think they'd want to make more advancements in that kind of travel, which they are doing now?
No, I don't say
Yeah.
they wouldn't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
They're definitely working on everything possible to make life
I just think that
easier or more efficient, etc.
It just proves technology spread. The military has shit.
But why does
NASA,
it, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But why does this mean that there's suppression of technology? Just because they had this great technology in '66 doesn't mean we don't have better technology the next
well,
year.
we do right now.
Yeah.
We have better. I mean, it was retired in 1999.
But does that mean that in 1966, when it was shown, we had the technology in 1955?
Yeah,
just
probably. Yeah, it was
hypothesizing here?
if it was in '66, we probably were developing it for like 10 years. So think about like 55.
Well, so then,
Yeah.
just by that kind of loose logic there, we have technology in development that we won't see for 10 years.
Oh, 20 years.
So are they suppressing it or are they just working on it?
No, both.
Okay.
I think both. I think there's already technology that already works that we
Yeah.
don't even know about.
But no, okay, no, that's enough. I think that's my question.
that
I think I just be
fair?
I think you answered them exactly the way I wanted you to. I just think that my next questions were going to be looping
Right.
around and pointless.
Then another one to check out is the Aurora project. You ever hear of the Aurora?
Can't say that I have.
It's another jet.
You are the white rabbit taking me down this hole right now.
Yeah, look up the Aurora project. It's weird. It's like an Air Force triangular jet that can go. Like,
Well, they had the stealth bomber. That's
Why
been
do
out
these
for
always
years.
look like such dog shit?
What do you mean? What
are you talking
What
about?
about what looks like dog shit?
Like there's never just one good picture.
because the Aurora's never been confirmed. The Aurora's never. It's not like the SR-17. The SR-17 is a confirmed plane built by NASA.
Yes.
So there's pictures. The Aurora was never confirmed. It just has these weird, random like sky images of it being a triangle, which could very well just be a jet. But the whole concept of the project when it was taking place, I think it was like going Mach 18. This was like, I heard about it in grade 8.
But
so
what's the human capacity? Like, what can they take at?
that's the thing, bro. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. Maybe
'Cause-
they've built something that nullifies G-force.
Because
you know what I mean?
I remember there was, when they were testing the capabilities of what humans can take at high speeds, this one dude was literally just strapped in a chair and shot him off on a rail. And when they went out to the other side to pick him up, his face was all fucked up from bruising and shit just from the force. Again, he wasn't in a
That's
ship,
not how the Force works.
Mach 6.
but he wasn't in a ship of any kind. He was literally just strapped to a fucking chair and then launched. It was insane. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick because like the guy looks like shit afterwards.
Yeah, see, it's so weird because it's like they have all these stats on it, but it was never real. It's like rumored. It said the plane can accelerate up to Mach 6, 3 times faster than the Concorde. It could be the successor to the Mach 3.35 Lockheed Martin SR-71 Blackbird.
Right.
That was retired in ~98. The Aurora started in the '80s. And then by comparison, Extreme Reports claim that the Aurora could hit up to Mach 11.8 hypersonic speeds. That's the claim to it. So it's just another reconnaissance plane that flies really high, really fast, and pretty much you could just never find it. Anyway,
Okay.
these are just like projects that, you know, jump in my mind from when I was a kid growing up that just make me curious.
So that's fine. And curiosity is wonderful. And all these things are great. It's just none of these add up to fuck all.
Nothing of it, none of anything adds up to fuck all in this whole topic. Like even the debunkers, I guess what I'm saying, even the people who want to prove it and then versus the debunkers, there's no nothing holds water. Because you could have a government guy coming out and saying it was a weather balloon, or it was a plane, or it was like a F-35 Hornet that was flying sideways. I don't know. You could say anything, and just because it's government, you can believe it.
Is it because it is so out there? It's so easy to just say it's just this?
Yeah, I honestly think it's because, like, oh, we can't see it. We don't see it normally. It's like, I think because of internet and TV and phones and all this shit, people think the world's so small because it's easy to connect just on your screen. But realistically, the world's huge, man.
Yeah.
And to see this shit in the air, you know, to see it in actual real life, like if they're testing this shit now, it's...
But if
Who knows?
you ask for an explanation of a certain phenomenon,
Right.
and an explanation is given, you say that's unsatisfactory. What is your lack of satisfaction based on? The fact that aliens sound better?
No, it's based on like just the loose ends of their story.
But knowing nothing about the science behind any of it, you claim loose ends.
Mm-hmm. No, but like I do, like I'm saying on the research that I do,
Okay.
right? But it's also
all
but
pretty fucking flimsy.
it is flimsy. I'm not saying that I fucking base my life on aliens existing
you?
on Earth. I
Don't
don't.
you?
I definitely don't. I'm not waiting for them to come and save us, or maybe I am. But I also don't. I don't just take what I'm given and say, "Yeah, you're right." Because
I don't either. If the story doesn't add up, it doesn't add up.
Yeah,
But it
and
doesn't-
information can be bent, even facts. Like even the facts can be bent, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they're constantly rewriting history books. They're constantly rewriting science books. So just given to say some dude who's an astrophysicist who I've never heard of and I can look up and he looks legit to say, yeah, it can't be done because of this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, I don't know that much. So I start researching and then it just gets all fucking cloudy and shit. And you're just like, well, now I don't know.
But what I mean is there's a bad equivocation here, and that we put fucking quacks on the same level as good scientists because they have the same amount of exposure, oftentimes more. Mm-hmm. And that fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, well, it's like they could be quacks or they could be telling you the truth. That's what I'm saying. Like Bob Lazar could be a quack, 100%. Or he could be telling you 100,000% the truth, and you're just thinking, well, he's a quack because he's got no evidence.
Or anywhere in the middle.
Or anywhere in the middle. Could be
Yeah.
half telling the truth, half not.
Yeah.
Right? It's that kind of shit. You're saying provide me evidence of aliens. Well, they don't want me to have evidence of aliens, so I can't provide you with it.
Who doesn't? How do you even know that? You don't even know that what you just said is true.
Well, who are they?
Because you make this assumption that whoever has anything but aliens.
I'm referring to who that I know on this planet. No one I know that I could go to right now could give me proof of aliens.
Dude, you know like 8 people.
Yeah, none of them can give me proof of aliens. Mickey, you got any proof of aliens? Fresh wants some proof.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
See? Exactly. And look at his hair. That guy's a fucking quack. My point is, it's going to be very easy to discredit something you don't want the public to know, even if they are real scientists, because the government money speaks. You could very well pay people to say things. It's just a foggy thing, man. Like, I just don't have trust in anything. So I'm on that, like, I won't be surprised to see aliens and then them come out and be like, yeah, they've been here since 45. And I also won't be surprised to be like, yeah, the aliens never existed. We invented all this ourselves.
I think his basis is because you see it over and over again, these cover-ups that are exposed. Like, that's real.
Yeah, 9/11 literally spoke. Like, the fact that people still think that 9/11... But it does, man. It shows you...
No one's ever copped to anything on 9/11.
No, but what I mean is, like, it's happened, so I can see a skepticism to go like, oh, there's things with aliens, and then everyone goes, no, you're fucking crazy. And who knows, fuck, maybe not in our lifetime, maybe when we're just on our fucking deathbed, it goes, oh yeah, that dude from like 30, 40, 50 years ago, yeah, he was right. Oh, I fucking knew it.
Right? Like vindication.
And again, we will never know, which is unfortunate. Because, again, I know Fresh just needs his physical evidence, which I applaud.
No. You don't.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Pigeonhole me.
I'm not pigeonhole. No. I was complimenting because, like, I love that about you. I wish I had that kind of skepticism because I'm so quick to believe things sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not quick to believe anything, and that is on either side. So if anybody steps forward to try and convince me of anything, my first question is, just like a 2-year-old, why?
Why do we have feet?
Yeah, why? Exactly.
Right? No, I don't care about the fucking big question,
silly.
Mickey.
I think me and Fresh have almost the same, like, if the evidence were presented that there's no aliens, cool. If there's evidence that it was presented that there are aliens, cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes, definitely. But you understand you literally cannot present evidence that there were never aliens. That's not physically possible, right?
Right.
Okay. As long as you understand that proof will never exist. So you can always have crackpot theories.
Well, you can prove it that they weren't on Earth.
No, you can't.
Why
because
not?
Someone can always concoct another theory whereby this was the way that they were on Earth. That's why you can't prove a negative.
Right, and you can't... apparently in this, you can't prove a positive as well.
No, but you can. All you have to do is establish a standard of belief.
Like, and show you an alien?
Whatever it may be.
Right.
A crazy technology, a physical alien, some form of communication. Could be, whatever you want. That just looks like a dude with G-forces.
That's what I mean. Like when you're talking about like the speeds and stuff and the capabilities of human, this is the best caption I've seen. Meet the man who strapped himself to a rocket for science, just to see the human endurance. And he was pretty fucked up afterwards.
But my point.
But
you can't prove a negative.
Hold on, pause. Prove to me fairies don't exist.
What?
Prove to me that fairies don't exist.
They don't.
Prove it.
Because I don't have one on my shoulder. If they did, it'd definitely be chilling with me.
Well, there's somewhere else, though.
What? It's what?
There's somewhere else, though.
The Scottish have land dedicated to fairies.
Yeah, there you go.
You cannot
build.
I know
Iceland. Doesn't Iceland do that, too?
Maybe. But, like, you cannot build on this land because they believe it's fairy land.
Yeah, I heard
or
it's
whatever.
Weird.
National
I know what you mean. I get it.
Okay.
But fairies and extraterrestrials are a kind of different ballgame here.
Not really, bro. Like, not in the sense of the logical argument that I'm making.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
Anyway, it also applies for religion, and that's one of the reasons I get so frustrated because, the bad reasoning that people use. Prove God doesn't exist. You literally can't fucking prove that because you can just keep redefining God.
Yeah. Maybe God is inside us.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Fuck.
isn't that convenient? A method of finding God without using a telescope.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that episode. And then he turned out to be real in that show.
In which show?
Futurama.
Oh, Futurama.
When Bender goes there, he's like, I need to go back to Earth. Earth? Which way is that?
Smelloscope.
Oh, man, I love it. Oh, God. If you're listening, you picked a good show to listen to, God.
Oh, we're talking to God right now.
Yeah. If he's
Yeah.
listening.
Thanks
Or
for
she,
tuning
or
in.
it.
God's definitely listening.
No, you know how I know God is a man?
No, I don't.
Have you seen the progress that's been made on fake boobs?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
That's it.
progress that's been made on fake wangs? Not even comparable.
True.
Is there fake wangs?
They're not good.
Oh my
It's
God.
like they'll take your pinky finger or some shit.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I have seen that.
yeah,
interesting.
exactly. Case in point. Anyway,
Speaking of, can I borrow one of your fingers? They're a lot bigger than mine.
Jesus. That's weird. So, ultimately, there's no hard evidence so far. Can we at least agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I just wish there was.
Oh, I wish there was too, man. I wish there was too.
I mean, there probably is hard evidence. You'll just never see it. That's
Not-
the thing. You're not going to see it, bro. You're not important enough. Neither am I.
Speak for yourself, nature boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's probably one of the harder topics we've had because there's just so much. No, seriously, because there's so much of a want to believe that it exists that it clouds our ability to be skeptical. Like when we said this is what we're talking about, I got so fucking excited. I'm like, oh, we're gonna do this, blah, 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 blah. But then we really just went completely the other direction that I thought we were gonna go, and just really kind of look at the evidence, lack thereof, the impossibility of it happening. I was really just talking about aliens and the types and what they might be able to do or not.
What do you mean the types?
The supposed types that exist. And I have that up, and they're kind of funny. There's like there's the obvious, like the Greys and the Reptilians and the Nordics, but then there was one called Flatwoods Monster. It's a tall humanoid with a spade-shaped head, and I'm looking at the picture, and it looks like a big fat dude wearing a KKK outfit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it does. I was
Like
looking at
I was
it
just
earlier.
like, what the fuck? They're
I feel like
right
that
there.
guy probably doesn't like aliens.
I know it.
So he's coming down, and maybe you know what? Maybe that's why the KKK dress the way they do. Somebody saw that and said, "Hey, you know what? Everyone that's not like me is bad." Oh, I like this guy. Anyways,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's contentious. I understand that because it's something that a lot of people put a lot of stock in and they attach themselves to. But at the same time, that doesn't, just like religion, it doesn't make it at all true.
yeah, you're right. You're
No,
right.
you're right, 100%. I just think it's what I was trying to say was it's such a fucking huge topic that you can't even fathom what it would even be. You can't even fathom what these beings would even look like, you know, or anything. You just can't fathom anything, so you're just not going to get evidence. Like if they put it like this, if they had the power to come here, they got the power to be invisible to us. They got the power to shapeshift. They got the power to do fucking anything, man.
Here's something. Do you think, or do you feel, there are more UFO cover-ups than anything to do with religion cover-ups? Not what they do to people, but just like, oh, hey, there's possible existence of God.
Whoa.
No. They're like, oh, look, there's possible existence of God. No, we like the way that we're doing it. Oh, hey, look, there's possible existence of UFOs. Shut up. There's none of that. Like, that's an interesting point. There's more UFO suspecting cover-ups or just like dismissals is probably a better term than there are anything really religious based.
I would believe in any form of intelligent extraterrestrial life in a heartbeat before I believe in a supernatural thing.
I loved that.
Because there's infinitely more evidence for it.
I loved that sentiment. That was that was just great.
It's just,
Yeah.
there just simply is.
Yeah, it was just great. I just really enjoyed it.
What?
What
What?
just said?
It's like it's
wasn't
gone.
listening.
He's somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, I'm over this.
Great. What are you doing?
I'm just waiting until it's done so I can hit pause.
Sick, bro. Thanks.
Well, that was fun. I very much enjoyed this episode. Aliens. I got all dressed up for it.
You did.
Just
You
for
look great.
guys. Thank you.
Giorgio.
Better than normal.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
No, it's a compliment. Because like normally you dress well, and now you're even better.
oh, I thought it was you look like shit. Now you look half decent.
What does that say about me?
You always look better than half decent. You look
I have
full
like
decent.
4 shirts, dog.
And you rock them well. Yeah. You rock them steady.
Okay. All right. Anyway, any final thoughts, fellas?
Let me go first, Mickey.
Final thoughts? The possibility of the existence of extraterrestrial life forms either visiting us, never visiting us, existing, never existing, has always intrigued me, and it was actually really nice to be able to talk about it at length and get a couple of my friends' perspectives on it.
Excuse me.
Also, be happy with yourself.
Yeah, buddy.
Sergio just told me to be happy with myself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's all belief. It's actually probably in the same realm as religion to me. Extraterrestrial, like with evidence and shit like that.
I quit. I'm done.
Why? No,
It's
no.
good.
What?
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, when you have that, when you're that advanced, you're like godly compared to us.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's going to be hard to prove it unless they want to be proved. Right? You know what I mean? Like, so you can believe what you want, really, until that day comes that or it doesn't come ever.
Yeah, but you're not saying that that's as likely as the current claims of religion.
No.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's in the same realm of belief.
Had a fucking heart attack.
No, not like
Yeah,
that.
all right, I got
it's
you.
just the same. Like the evidence is so you're just not gonna find it unless they want it to be found.
Or the
my-
government allows us to.
Yeah, they want us. That falls under the same category of like phrasing.
And I just want to poke one more.
Mickey likes to repeat the things we said,
Just
but in
different-
Mickey's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm the star of the show.
Oh my god.
Definitely not.
All right. Yeah, I have nothing. I've said enough. But, keep watching the skis
The skis.
for those aliens.